Hey everyone, Kirsty and Steve from Financial Freedom. We got a topic that is like everybody is talking about. Wherever you look on the news, it's all about the American elections. I have not been like watching it every 5 minutes, but I've been kind of keeping tabs. We both have. We just thought we'd give you our 5 cents worth on what we think about. And we're not going to be pro-Trump or pro-Harris. It's to perhaps look at the whole thing from a different perspective, not as Australians looking at America, but also Australians who are also going to have to look at voting coming up soon as well. So
if you have a look, everyone's like, vote for the person, vote for the person. It's not actually voting for the person. It's more voting for what they're saying they're capable of doing, or what their party is capable of doing, or what the promises of their party is.
The policies.
And the policies that they're wanting to put in place. If you look at Australia, the current government that we've got in, they're doing a lot of backhanded type stuff, which is putting new regulations and everything else in you can offend someone if you write something on Facebook at the moment that the Australian government doesn't deem appropriate, and you can get charged by it. Australia is still in what they call COVID class, where they can walk into your house and give you vaccinations, but no one knows that that's currently still in play. But it's that whole thing of, what do you do? Media is saying one thing, and, this is happening with other people. It's like, the recent interview with Kamala. I think it was a 60 Minutes in the US, was a really, really good interview, where she was asked some key questions like, why aren't you doing the stuff that you're promising you can do now rather than when the election takes place? She turns around and she says, oh, well, I don't have the capability of doing it. But then when you listen to what Biden says, she's been an integral part to all of the policies, and all of the current systems that are in place in the government. And it's like, so who do you believe? It's weird.
Absolutely. I mean, from my perspective, it comes down to, you're not voting for that person. You're voting for what their party represents. And if you have a look at what's happening with the world economy, Australia's in a recession, America's in a recession, China's in a recession, Germany's in a recession. Basically, the world is in a recession. We are due for our 100-year fourth quarter, whatever. If you watch Robert Kiyosaki's work, we're coming into what is deemed as going to be the next depression. And if that is the case, it's like, well, whichever country you're in, who do you want, which policy, which party do you actually want to be the person to guide you and your country through a depression? There's very few people around that have actually go around and say, I've experienced a depression, because it was 100 years ago. So don't always believe everything that the media is representing about that party person, whether Australia or America or wherever. Go in with your eyes wide open. You're only going to see what it is that the media decides that you get to see. You're not voting for that particular person. And whatever you do, don't go and vote for the other guy simply because you don't like one guy.
Look at the policies that they're putting in place.
Look at the policies of the party that they actually are at the head of, rather than that particular person.
Promises as well.
And the promises. One of the YouTube channels that we watch, which is Sailing Zatara, American couple are basically living the life that we're hoping to be able to go and live. And he had his little bit at the end, and it's like, it is so true. I have a lot of friends who are American. I have a lot of friends who are Australian or are American but live in Australia, or who still vote, sort of stuff. And they're like, oh, Donald Trump, he's an asshole and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, okay, so you may not like him personally. I've never met him. I have never met Harris. So again, I'm looking at
what the media is
presenting on that person, and really, it's a politician. You know, it's a bit like a car salesman. They're not the highest ranking of trustworthiness in a job, because their job is to get in for the next 4 years, and that's pretty much it. Because whilst they're in, they're getting their good pay. Whilst they're in, doing their thing, and that's pretty much where they only look at 4 years of a term in a head. So they're not looking about like, oh, well, in 25 years, we need to be able to do this. It's like, well, they're looking 4 years, and that's pretty much it, because that's how long their job contract is for.
But I will say one thing, and I have a lot of US expats that are good friends and Australian expats that are good friends, having served in the armed services. Neither the Australian and or the US are happy with the current governments that have been put in place. And, you know, was it the old saying, look after your own before you look after everyone else? If anyone believes that the current expats in the US and the UK and here are being looked after by the government prior to looking after import, like refugees and stuff, I think again,
by the way,
not happening.
Bit of a disclaimer, we're not anti people having coming in on refugee status. Absolutely not. We here in Australia, honestly, I think we have one of the most amazing countries. We have the most amazing people here. We are a multicultural society, and yeah, we can truly offer an amazing place for people to be able to have a fresh start. But if you're going to immigrate to another country, then do it legally, do it properly.
Hey,
do it through
I'm an import, so
I'm not. I'm Indigenous. I'm born here, so yeah, you know, Steve, you're an import.
I'm an import. It's that simple. But you know, I'm an import that joined the armed services and served Australia. So
yeah.
And at the current moment, would I do it again? Yeah. Don't know. But either way,
well, that's our 5 cents worth. Actually, I think that's a couple of dollars worth. But there you go. So, yeah, thanks for listening. If you like listening to us and you know, being a part of our journey of seeking our financial freedom and hitting
listening
our
to
goals,
our 2 pence bit,
yeah, please like, subscribe, and hit the follow icon or whichever bell icon or whatever. There's one of them anyway. Yeah.
And remember, life is always good because there's red wine and there's Tim Tams.
Not currently because we're in the car.
Yeah, anyway, but yes.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya.